Hey YouTubers, Skip here, and pilots, RC guys, tankers. I'm starting to work on the Russian T-90 right now, the 1/16 scale. Guys, I'm not going to do a speed deal here because there's no such thing as a speed build with this thing. Just getting the parts and stuff and taking them off of here and trying to read these instructions in Chinglish, and the parts are illustrated, but they're not really labeled. The piece that it comes on has a mark on it, but none of the pieces themselves are labeled. And if I took them all off, I'd just be sitting here with a pile of parts trying to figure out where they all go. And the only way to do it is looking through these pages of, to give you an example. This is what we're looking at, guys. And it shows pictures of all these little pieces and arrows sometimes going, but it doesn't show everything in every single part. I had to find a couple of them by accident. I did do the wheels, and I did these tanks in the back, guys, only because there was a little problem and I had to use a little bit of glue on the back box that I've got here. And in the back box on there, I had to use a little CA on the side tabs just to hold it all together. And then for the tanks to stay up and stay on, you did have to use a little bit of glue in there. So those I have to set up. In the meantime, we'll just be working on the rest of this thing here, guys, and show it to you when it's all done. But these pieces all got to be separated, all snapped together, and if they stay snapped together, fine. If they're a little on the loose side, then it says use your knife, use your tool, you're on your own, basically. The instructions basically really just say that. DIY installation components. If the hole is too loose, parts split second, binding your own. Does that make sense to anybody? DIY installation components. If the hole is too loose, parts split second, binding your own. If a narrow hole, parts dealing with your own tools. This is how English is in China. But at least there are pictures. Color pictures actually would have been a little bit cooler, because then you can actually see the stuff a little bit better. But this will work. The wire diagram is probably all we're going to have to be able. But I did pick the toughest one of the ones that I bought. I did buy another one, by the way. We've got a Leopard tank coming, and I bought the last two with a little bit easier components to go on, and not so many of these things. Because all these tabs here right now, that's just from the pieces for the backpack on the back of the turret, and a bazooka tube, and these two canisters on the back. All those parts get in making those few little things. Okay, so you know where I'm standing, and stay tuned. We'll be back in a little bit, guys. Everything went together pretty well. Surprisingly enough, guys, the instructions, once you learn how to read them, everything starts falling into place. As far as getting this thing together in an hour and a half, plan on spending probably 3 times that, maybe. This ended up really taking me quite a while, just trying to figure everything out, and then there were some things that most of the stuff snapped together and stayed together pretty well, but some of it needed a little coaxing to stay, so we used a little glue, little schmoo, and get it done. Let me show you this thing here real quick, and I'll explain the instructions for you real quick, guys, for those out there, so you don't have to go through what I went through trying to figure it out. Bottom line is, if I had to do another one right now, I could do it in 1/3 of the time, because I know how it goes. I know how to read the parts and stuff now. And to explain to you guys, you'll see things like, let me get a good page here, because I did make it to the last page finally. All right, here's a good example, okay? Let me grab the camera here so you guys can see. You'll notice on the diagrams here, let me try to get the light out, the shade out here. You'll notice on the diagrams, you have like B8, B1, the numbers 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Those 2's with the circles around them correspond to the color of the part. And like 1 is green, 1 is brown, I think, 2 is green, and 3 is yellow, something like that, okay? And there is a key that tells you that, okay? But now when you look at the diagram here, this says B8. What you want to do is look for one of these here that has the letter B on it. This one here says it's a letter A, okay? But if it was a B, I would pick up the B thing, and then I would go for the corresponding number on the palette here, and that will tell you which part that is. So B6 would have been this one right here, and then this would have showed you how to put those pieces together pretty much. You gotta still have to figure it out like that. They don't say put this to this and this to that. There's arrows that kind of show where stuff goes, but you have to figure it out. Bottom line is, when you get the stuff together, you get it rolling, then it starts going together. But it is time consuming, guys. So what you do is you match up the B with the number in the palette, and then you follow the diagram, and it shows you approximately where to put it. Some of it's pretty clear, some of them you kind of have to guess. A couple of them were actually left out. The only part out of over 150 parts probably, guys, out of probably 150 little pieces. I mean, look at all these empty trays here now. The only thing that was missing was one little step for here, and it must have fallen out because when I took the packages out of the wrapper, one piece fell right off in my hand, and you know, I didn't think much of it, but obviously maybe another piece had fallen off, maybe in the factory, whatever. I looked all over. It's not in the box, not on the floor, not anywhere here. So, but we can live without that little piece there, or I can improvise and make something. But yeah, guys, bottom line is, once you get the flow on those instructions and correspond the pallet number to the part number, and get all the different parts, because some of them will have parts from A, B, C, D, all these different pallets that you've got to pick the different single parts from. So as far as, guys, as far as getting them and cutting all the parts out, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because if you cut them all off, you're not going to know where the hell they go, and you're going to have to match them all up by pictures. And even though the pictures are not half bad, they do really look like the parts. That just makes it an added level of difficulty. So do it a piece at a time, and start with page 1, and it shows you, and once you've eliminated all the little green things on that page, then you move to the next page. Okay? In the meantime, I'm going to show you this here real quick. It went, like I said, went together pretty well. Glued in a couple of things because these were real flimsy. They did not want to stay there on their own. This back box here, the 2 side pieces, they don't want to stay on, so you have to glue those in. And then once you glue those all the way to everything else. It holds the whole thing together. And then I did tack them in. A lot of these things I did tack in just in case they did pressure fit. You could have just stuck them on, but you know, if you pick it up wrong or something like that, the thing comes off. And once they come out of there and they've been pressure fit and you pull them out and you push them back in again, they're not going to stay as well. So gluing is a good option if you take the time to do it, guys. It really does come out nice. It's a nice tank, I gotta get better lighting in here. Here, hold on, bear with me, guys. There we go. So, yeah, that's the deal. We'll take it outside and give you a demonstration. Okay, hold tight. Okay, Garmin, stop recording. Okay guys, we're going to try the Canon here real quick. Start it up. Well, it shoots. I missed the cup. We're going to take it outside here, guys. We'll wrap this up here, and then we'll probably have to get started on that Challenger pretty soon. There is a way to change the modes on the sticks, guys. Right now, Heng. Yeah, I think the battery's starting to run. And I probably should have turned the barrel on it, guys. Yeah, she's getting ready to die. I believe there is a light. Yeah. And the Canon. See if we can catch that. Pretty cool, guys. I am guessing that the professional version would probably more than likely go through this tall grass and the leaves a little bit easier. But this thing's going to be a lot of fun. And we get it on a little bit bumpier surface, we can see the wheel action and stuff like that. Should be fun with the infrared, guys. And we will see you with the Challenger coming up shortly. Thanks for watching. This is Skip, signing out. Over and out.